शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Bhashyakara has presented the view of Vrittikara, Vrittikara's interpretation of this shloka. Karmanya karmayah pashyet akarmani cha karmayah iti. According to Vrittikara, karma stands for nitya karma. In the statement karmani akarmayah pashyet, karma means nitya karma. Nitya karma should be considered as akarma. Karmani akarmayah pashyet. Nitya karma should be considered as akarma because nitya karma do not have phala. Therefore, they are as good as akarma, absence of karma. Similarly, akarmani cha karmayaha. In that statement, akarma means non-performance of nitya karma. It should be considered as karma because it gives pratyavaya phala. It is Vrittikara's interpretation. We have already seen Vrittikara's interpretation, and now Bhashyakara refutes this interpretation. This interpretation is not correct. See the Bhashya. Naitadyuktam vyakhyanam evam jnanat ashubhat mokshanupapattehe yajñātvā मोक्षसे शुभात् इति भगवता उक्तं वचनं बाध्येत नैतद्युक्तं व्याख्यानम् एतद्व्याख्यानं न युक्तं. This व्याख्यानम is not correct because एवं ज्ञानात् अशुभान् मोक्षानुपपत्तेः. Evam jnanat. By knowing so, one does not get freedom from Ashubha. One does not get freedom from samsara. Nitya karma does not give any phala, and non-performance of nitya karma gives a phala. Just by understanding this, one does not get freedom from samsara. Evam jnanat ashubhan mokshanupapattehe. Since one does not get freedom from ashubha, yajnatva mokshase shubhat iti bhagavata uktam vachanam badhyeta. Bhagavan has said that understanding this is going to lead to freedom from ashubha. Yajnatva mokshase shubhat. Understanding which you will become free from ashubha. This statement was made earlier. And then Bhagavan has presented karmanya karmayah pashyet. Meaning that one who understands karmanya karmayah pashyet, akarmani cha karmayaha, this statement, then he gets freedom from moksha, freedom from samsara. He gets moksha. But understanding that nitya karma does not have phala and non-performance of nitya karma has phala, this understanding does not give moksha. Therefore, the statement of Bhagavan, yajnatva mokshase shubhat, will be violated. Badhyeta. Iti bhagavata uktam vachanam badhyeta. It will be contradicted in this interpretation. Katham nityanam anushtanat ashubhat syannama mokshanam nato tesham phalabhavajnanat. Katham, how does this interpretation contradict Bhagavan's statement, yajnatva mokshase shubhat? Katham badhyeta. Answering this question of Purvapakshi, Siddhanti accepts for time being that performance of nitya karma might as well give moksha. It is called abhyupetyavada. Accepting Purvapakshi, some idea of Purvapakshi for the time being. Nityanam anushtanat ashubhat syat nama mokshanam. Nityanam anushtanat. By performing nitya karma, ashubhat mokshanam syat nama. Let us even accept syat nama. It may be there. It may be possible. What? Ashubhat mokshanam. Maybe performing nitya karma will lead to moksha. But just knowing that nitya karma does not have any phala is not at all going to lead to moksha. Natu tesham phalabhavajnanat. But tesham phalabhavajnanat. By understanding that they do not have any phala, they do not have any result, Ashubhat mokshanam na syat. One cannot get freedom from Ashubha. One cannot get freedom from samsara. Nahi nityanam phalabhavajnanam ashubha mukti phalatvena choditam nityakarana karmajnanam va. What is there any other reading? Nitya nahi nityanam phalabhavajnanam ashubha mukti phalatvena choditam. Nityanam phalabhavajnanam and nitya akarana karmajna. Nitya nitya karma jnanam. It's okay, it can be justified. Nitya akarana karma jnanam is a better reading. Nitya akarana karma jnanam. It is a better reading because karmanya karmayah pashyet akarmani cha karmayah. Both ideas are covered in this. Nitya akarana karma jnanam. Nityakarana karma jnanam. Nahi nityanam phalabhava jnanam ashubha mukti phalatvena choditam nityakarana karma jnanam va is a better reading. Nityanam phalabhava jnanam. Understanding that nitya karma does not give any phala. It is nowhere mentioned as a means for moksha. Ashubha mukti phalatvena na choditam. It is not enjoined as something which will give the phala of freedom from ashubha. And nityakarana karmajnanam. Nityasya akaranam. Non-performance of nitya karma is like karma. Is karma. Iti jnanam. This understanding also is nowhere mentioned as the means for moksha. Means for freedom from ashubha. Nacha bhagavata iha eva bhagavata eva iha uktam. Even here Bhagavan does not mention such a thing clearly. So nowhere else in the Shastra this kind of understanding is mentioned as a means for moksha. And here in this shloka also Bhagavan does not directly say that if you understand nitya karma does not have phala, you will get moksha. Bhagavan does not say that here in direct terms. Then how can you imagine this meaning of this verse? If it has been stated elsewhere clearly, then you can infer that as the meaning of this verse also. But unfortunately, such a statement is nowhere else made in the Shastra, and in this statement also, it is not explicitly told. Therefore, you cannot interpret this statement that way. Etena akarmani karma darshanam pratyuktam. So Bhagavan refuted karmani akarmayah pashyet. The interpretation, the Purvapakshi's interpretation of karmani akarmayah pashyet was refuted. With the same idea, with the same logic, we can also refute karmani akarmayah pashyet, akarmani cha karmayaha also. Purvapakshi's interpretation of akarmani cha karmayaha also gets refuted with the same logic. Etena, with the same logic, etena eva nyayena, with the same logic, akarmani karmadarshanam pratyuktam. So akarmani karmadarshanam means nityanam akarane karmadarshanam. This interpretation also gets refuted. And he further elaborates how Purvapakshi's interpretation of akarmani cha karmayaha is not acceptable. Nahi akarmani karma iti darshanam kartavyataya iha chodyate nityasya tu kartavyata matram. So, akarmani cha karmayaha will not lead to moksha. Seeing absence of nitya karma, non-performance of nitya karma as karma, this is not going to lead moksha. Then Purvapakshi might say, you meditate on non-performance of nitya karma as karma. It is a kind of upasanam. On the absence of nitya karma, you do karma buddhi. Just like a shalagrame Vishnu buddhi. Then Siddhanti says there is no such a meditation. Meditating on non-performance of nitya karma as a karma. That kind of meditation is nowhere there. And therefore it is not intended here also. Akarmani karma iti darshanam. Darshanam means upasanam. Akarmani karma iti darshanam. Seeing the akarma as karma. Kartavyataya as a kartavya, as a practice of upasanam, of meditation, ihana chodyate, it is not enjoined here. And then what is intended? If at all we accept Purvapakshi's view also, even Purvapakshi intends to say that this shloka is talking about the necessity of performance of nitya karma. In Purvapakshi's interpretation, this shloka intends to emphasize on the importance of performance of nitya karma. That is what is acceptable to Purvapakshi. Therefore, Siddhanti is telling the Purvapakshi, Nityasya tu kartavyata matram chodyate. Nityasya kartavyata matram chodyate. Only the necessity of performance of nitya karma is being enjoined in this shloka, even according to you. And therefore, you cannot explain the other part of the shloka. Akarmani cha karmayaha. न च अकरणात् नित्यस्य प्रत्यवायः भवतीति विज्ञानात् किंचित् फलं स्यात्. नित्यस्य अकरणात् प्रत्यवायः भवतीति विज्ञानात्. By understanding that nitya karma, that the akarana of nitya karma, non-performance of nitya karma gives pratyavaya. By understanding so, there is no phala. You are not going to get any phala. Napi nityakaranam jneyatvena choditam. Nityakaranam jneyatvena na choditam. Nitya akaranam, non-performance of nitya karma is not enjoined as a jneya. It is not enjoined as something that should be meditated on. Upasya. Napi karma akarma iti mithyadarshanaat ashubhat mokshanam buddhimatvam yuktata kritsna karmattvadicha phalam upapadyate. Krishna karma kritvadicha phalam upapadyate stutirva. So, karma akarma iti mithyadarshanaat. So, looking upon karma as akarma. Nitya karma is looked upon as akarma. This is Purva Pakshi's interpretation. Looking upon nitya karma as akarma, it is a mithya darshanam. If you look upon one as another, if you take one for another, it is called mithya darshanam or mithya jnanam. And Bhashyakara says, by mithya jnana, one will not get anything desirable. Therefore, glorification of a mithya jnana is not proper. But Krishna glorifies karmanya karmayah pashyet. This understanding. Sabuddhiman manushyeshu sayuktah krishna karma krit iti. This vision is glorified. This glorification cannot be justified if we take Purva Pakshi's interpretation, because according to Purva Pakshi, it is a mithya jnana. You are looking at karma as no karma. Karma akarma iti mithya darshanat. By the mithya darshanam, karma is akarma. Ashubhat mokshanam is not possible. Ashubhat mokshanam, freedom from ashubha. Buddhimatvam, that person is a buddhiman, he is a jnani. Even this is not possible. Yuktata, he is a yuktaha. Even this glorification cannot be justified. Sayuktaha iti. And Krishna karma kritvadicha. Phalam stutirvana upapadyate. This cannot be justified either as phala or as stuti. Ashubhat mokshanam iti phala. And sabuddhiman sayuktaha krishna karmakrit iti stutihi na upapadyate. It cannot be justified if it is a mithya-jnana as interpreted by Purvapakshi. All these can be justified only if it is a samyak jnana, only if it is a proper knowledge. Mithya jnanameva hi sakshat ashubha rupam kutaha anyasmat ashubhat mokshanam nahi tamaha tamasaha nivartakam bhavati. मिथ्याज्ञानमेव हि साक्षात् अशुभात् मोक्षणम. Mithya-jnana, an erroneous perception, a wrong perception, sakshat ashubha ashubha rupam. By itself it is ashubha. In itself it is undesirable. Kutaha anyasmat ashubhat mokshanam. How can it make one free from another ashubha? When something is ashubha in itself, how can it make one free from another ashubha? Nahi tamaha tamaso nivartakam bhavati. Tamaha, darkness itself cannot remove darkness because it is darkness in itself. Nanu karmani yad akarma darshanam akarmani va karma darshanam न तन्मिथ्याज्ञानम किम तर्हि गौणम फलभावाभावनिमित्तम. Now Purvapakshi is trying to defend his interpretation. He says, Karmani akarmayah pashyet. Seeing nitya karma as akarma, it is not a mithya jnanam, instead it is gauna jnana. There is a difference between mithya jnanam and gauna jnanam. Mithya jnanam is a false understanding, wrong understanding. When you see rope as a snake, it is a mithya jnana. It is a wrong knowledge. It is an error, a mistake. Gauna jnanam is not a mistake. In Gauna Jnana, you just consider one as another, despite knowing the difference between the two. For example, Simho Manavakaha, boy is a lion, You know very well that boy is not a lion. Yet you look upon him as a lion just because of the similarity with the original lion. It is called Gauna Jnana. In Mithya Jnana, you are not aware of the difference between the two. When you call the rope a snake, you are not aware of the difference between the rope and snake. You are not aware of the truth of it. But in Gauna Jnana, you are very much aware of the truth. You are very much aware of the difference between the two. If someone says, he is my right hand, he is my right hand, it is a Gauna Jnana. He knows that it is not a right hand, but as important as right hand. Without my right hand, I cannot do many of my works. Similarly, without this person, I cannot get most of my works done. So he does most of my work. Then I call him my right hand. So right hand is a Gauna Jnana. Is a very good example for Gauni Vritti. You know very well that he is a person, he is not a hand. But still you call him right hand. Similarly, Karmani Akarma, it is not a Mithya Jnana. Purva Pakshi does not intend it as a Mithya Jnana. Instead, he intends it to be a Gauna Jnana. You are not mistaking Nitya Karma as no karma. You are fully aware that Nitya Karma is a karma. Nitya Karma is an action. But in the meantime, you understand its similarity with the akarma. And then you look upon it as no karma. As good as no karma. You call it no karma. That is what Purva Pakshi intends to say. And he clarifies his own interpretation. Siddhanti called it a Mithya Jnana. Treating karma as akarma is a Mithya Jnana. To defend, so if it is a Mithya Jnana, it will be Ashubha. To escape from that blemish, Siddhanti, Purva Pakshi says, it is not a Mithya Jnanam, it is a Gauna Jnanam. Nanu karmaniyat akarma darshanam. Nanu Purva Paksha. Yat karmani akarma darshanam. Seeing akarma in karma. And akarmaniva karma darshanam. And seeing karma in akarma. Na tad mithya jnanam. It is not Mithya Jnanam. Kim tarhi, then what? Gaunam phalabhava bhava nimittam. It is Gauna Jnana. And for Gauna Jnana, you should have a similarity in terms of guna. And the gunas are phala bhava and phala abhava. So akarma has phala bhava. there is a result. Phala bhava means phalasya sattvam. Phalam asti. Therefore, it is considered as karma. And it is gauna, this understanding. And karma, nitya karma, does not have phala. Phala abhava. Because of the phala abhava guna, it is treated as akarma. Even that is gauna. Then Siddhanti answers, na karma karma vijnanadapi gaunat phalasya ashravanat. Karma karma vijnanat gaunadapi phalasya ashravanat. Just like mithya does not have any phala, similarly even gauna jnana cannot give phala. Even gauna jnana will not lead to freedom from ashubha, will not give moksha. The Shastra says only samyak jnana leads to moksha. The Shastra does not say gauna jnana leads to moksha. Aham brahmasmi. It is a samyak jnana. It's a proper knowledge. Neither mithya jnana nor gauna jnana will serve the purpose of moksha. It is logically not possible, and it is not mentioned in the Shastra also. Karma akarma vijnanat gaunat api. Even the gauna jnana of karma akarma vijnana, of karma and akarma, phalasya ashravanat. Phala is not mentioned anywhere in the Shastra. Looking upon karma as akarma will give some phala. It is not mentioned anywhere. Just like mithya jnana is not going to give any phala, even gauna jnana will give phala. It is not mentioned anywhere in the Shruti or even here in the Gita. Napi Shrutahani Ashruta Parikalpanaya Kaschid Visheshaha Labhyate. Then to defend himself, Purvapakshi says, the jnana itself will not give phala. Knowing nitya karma as akarma, this gauna jnana itself is not going to give any phala. Instead, this understanding will make a person do nitya karma. Nitya karma is akarma, and non-performance of nitya karma as good as karma. This understanding is meant for impelling a person to do nitya karma, and only after doing the nitya karma he will get phala. This is Bhagavan's idea. Purvapakshi might say so. Then Siddhanti says, in that case, you are doing Shrutahani and Ashruta Kalpana. What is Shrutahani? Giving up the direct meaning of Bhagavan's statement is a Shrutahani. If we accept Purvapakshi's interpretation, Yajñātva mokshase shubhat, this statement we will have to give up. Because even Purvapakshi accepts in his interpretation the Gaunajnana itself is not going to give phala. Therefore, Yajñātva mokshase shubhat, we will have to give up. Then what do we have to imagine? After understanding this, you have to perform Nitya Karma. Yajñātva Nitya Karma Anushthānam Tataha Ashubhat Mokshanam. All these are not mentioned, but we have to imagine. We have to imagine certain words of Krishna. It is called Shrutahana Ashruta Kalpanam. And it is a dosha in interpreting any text. Shrutahana Ashruta Kalpanam or Shrutahani Ashruta Kalpanam is a dosha, is a fallacy in any interpretation. Napi Shrutahani Ashruta Parikalpanaya Kaschid Visheshaha Labhyate. By doing Shrutahani and Ashruta Kalpanam, one is not going to gain anything. One is not going to gain anything special. Instead, one can take the direct meaning. In Siddhanti's interpretation, one can take the direct meaning of the words of Krishna and it makes true sense. Swashabdenapi shakyam vaktum nitya karmanam phalam nasti akaranaccha tesham Narakapatasyaaditi. Now, Bhashyakara is giving one more reason why Purvapakshi's interpretation cannot be accepted. Nitya karma does not have phala, and non-performance of Nitya karma will give pratyavaya. This can be stated directly. Krishna does not need to take a covert route to explain this. He does not have to take a manipulative, deceptive route and confuse the people. Make a confusing statement. He could have directly said, Swashabdenapi shakyam vaktum. Swashabdena, by its own words. Words that are directly intending the meaning. Means with the direct words. Shakyam vaktum, it can be told what nitya karmanam phalam nasti. The nitya karma do not have phala. Akaranat chatesham narakapatasyaaditi. Non-performance of nitya karma will lead to naraka. But nowhere he has said such things directly. It's only Purvapakshi's imagination. तत्र व्याजेन परव्यामोहरूपेण कर्मणि अकर्मयः पश्येत् इत्यादिना किम् तत्र व्याजेन तत्र एवं सति when it is so, when he could have directly said vyajena, a deceptive statement, paravyamoharupena, which will confuse the others, karmani akarmayah pashyed ityadina kim, what is the use of such statement, karmani akarmayah pashyet? Instead of saying directly, he is making a confusing statement. Purvapakshi's interpretation is not a direct meaning of this statement. If we look at this statement, it nowhere goes near Purvapakshi's interpretation. So, karmanya karmayah pashyed ityadina vyajena paravyamoha rupena kim. What is the purpose of making such indirect and deceptive covert statement? तत्र एवं व्याचक्षाणेन भगवता उक्तं वाक्यं लोकव्यामोहार्थम् इति व्यक्तं कल्पितं स्यात्. तत्र therefore एवं व्याचक्षाणेन, one who explains Bhagavan's statement in this manner, as Purvapakshi is doing, he is forcing us to believe that Bhagavan is interested in confusing all the people. Bhagavata Uktam Vakyam, the statement made by Bhagavan, Lokavyamohartham, it is meant for confusing the people instead of giving clarity. Iti vyaktam kalpitam syat. This is clearly imagined by Purvapakshi. Purvapakshi imagines that Bhagavan is not interested in giving clarity to the world, and he is giving only confusion to the world. This is Purvapakshi's imagination about Bhagavan. Purvapakshi's imagination of Bhagavan when he interprets in this manner. If he had the intention, if Bhagavan had the intention of not confusing the people, if he had the intention of giving clarity to the world, he could have directly stated. Instead of stating directly, he makes some indirect, cryptic, confusing statement. That means Bhagavan is interested in confusing the people. Nacha etat chadmarupena vakyena rakshaniyam vastu. And this fact, this vastu, nitya karma does not have phala, and non-performance of nitya karma will give pratyavaya. It is not a defense secret. That should be saved, protected as a secret. It is not a confidential matter. that needs to be told only in cryptic and coded language. Certain communication need to be done in code language because it is secret. But Nitya Karma does not have phala, etc. It is not such a great secret that it should be saved. It should be protected from the public by putting it in a cryptic and coded language. Etat chadmarupena vakyena rakshaniyam vastuna. This is not a vastu, this is not a fact which is rakshaniyam, which should be protected, whose secrecy should be protected with the chadmarupena vakyena, with the statement that is cryptic in nature. Napi shabdantarena punaf punaruchyamanam syat iti evam vaktum yuktam. And this statement cannot be explained as meant for giving better clarity. In Purvapakshi's interpretation, this statement is not giving a better clarity. It's not giving clarity, it is giving confusion only. Therefore, Purvapakshi cannot say, Bhagavan makes this statement for giving better clarity, when the same thing is stated in some different language, it will give better clarity. Therefore, Krishna says so. This explanation also does not justify the statement. Napi shabdantarena punaf punaruchyamanam. Shabdantarena, with other words, with the different words. Punaf punaha uchyamanam, stated again and again. Subodham syat, it becomes clearly understood. Ityevam, with this intention, evam vaktum na yuktam. One cannot make such statement, because this statement is not giving clarity regarding anything. At least it does not give clarity if Purvapakshi's interpretation is accepted. In Siddhanta, it gives clarity. In Siddhanti's interpretation, this statement gives better clarity. But in Purvapakshi's interpretation, this statement does not give better clarity. Therefore, Purvapakshi cannot justify this statement by saying that this statement is meant for giving better clarity regarding the necessity of performance of Nitya Karma. Karmanyevadhikaraste ityatra hi स्फुटतरः उक्तः अर्थः न पुनर्वक्तव्यो भवति. The necessity of performance of Nitya Karma is already mentioned in a direct language, and it need not be told in an unclear language once again. Karmani eva adhikaraste ityatra. In such statements, sphutataraha uktaha arthaha. The fact that has been mentioned clearly. Sphutataraha uktaha arthaha. The fact which is mentioned clearly in such statements, na punaha vaktavyo bhavati. It need not be stated again in a cryptic language. Sarvatra cha prashastam bodhavyan cha kartavyameva na nishprayojanam bodhavyam ityuchyate. We'll see in the next class. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.